Here is the part almost nobody warns you about. In some provinces, a newcomer can be on the hook for up to 3 months of private medical costs after landing, according to IRCC. That is because public health coverage does not automatically switch on the day you arrive. You could be paying out of pocket for doctor visits, prescriptions, and urgent care during those first 90 days, and most people find out far too late. I read the fine print so you don't have to. The central number here is 3 months. IRCC says that depending on where you live, it can take up to 3 months for public health insurance to begin. That means the first 90 days can be entirely out of pocket unless you have private coverage in place. Before we get to the moves, let me show you why this matters. If your province has a waiting period, public coverage does not begin immediately, so newcomers can face the cost of doctor visits, urgent care, prescriptions, and tests themselves until it starts, according to IRCC settlement guidance. A family that stays uninsured for the full 3 months can face repeated bills across multiple appointments instead of paying one premium for temporary coverage. The exact dollar figure depends on your province and plan, but a single emergency visit can wipe out a month of savings. Move 1. Apply for your provincial health card immediately after you arrive. In Ontario, you use Service Ontario and the official OHIP application pathway, and Ontario says you can apply as soon as you land. You do not need to wait until you have been physically present for 153 days. To do it, gather your passport and immigration documents, confirm your provincial address, and submit your application in person or online where your province allows it. Here is the good news for Ontario specifically. The province states there is no waiting period for OHIP, and you can apply as soon as you arrive, according to the Ontario Ministry of Health. That old rule about waiting 153 days before applying no longer holds you back. Filing early means the clock starts as soon as possible, so applying in your first week is genuinely the smartest thing you can do. Move 2. Check whether your province actually has a waiting period before you assume you are covered. Use IRCC's settlement guidance on provincial healthcare alongside your own provincial health ministry page, because IRCC confirms the delay applies only in some provinces and territories. Confirm whether your province offers immediate coverage or a delay, note the start date rule, and put the day your coverage begins in your calendar. You want to know whether your gap is 0 days or up to 3 months before you book any non-urgent care. This step matters because the rule genuinely varies by province, and 2026 newcomer summaries still describe a 3-month wait in several provinces according to province-by-province guidance. If this breakdown is useful, subscribe. The next one is already coming. Getting this wrong means booking a routine appointment thinking you are covered, then getting a bill you never expected. Before I get to the last move, which is the most counterintuitive part of all this, here's the setup. Move 3. Buy private newcomer insurance if you will have any uninsured gap, using a licensed newcomer or travel medical provider and reading the policy wording before you buy. Compare start dates, verify the pre-existing condition and waiting period clauses, and then purchase the policy. This is general information, not personal advice, so check the policy wording and your own circumstances before you commit. Here is the counterintuitive piece. Newcomer guides warn that a policy purchased after you arrive may exclude the first 48 hours of coverage, according to newcomer insurance sources like Up Immigration and InsubI. So the smart play is to buy before you depart, so you are protected from day 1 rather than starting with a coverage hole. Those first 2 days are exactly when you are juggling housing, kids, and prescriptions. The worst possible time to be uninsured. Let me kill the biggest myth right now. People believe you have to wait months of being in Canada before you can apply for a health card. In fact, Ontario says you can apply as soon as you arrive, and IRCC says newcomers should apply for government health insurance immediately, precisely because some provinces still carry a 3-month start delay. The most common mistake I see is treating the application like something to handle later, once you are settled. Waiting to apply can extend the uninsured gap, while applying immediately starts the clock as early as your province allows, according to Ontario's OHIP guidance. The second mistake is assuming coverage begins the day you land. In a delay province, that assumption can cost you the full 90 days of care. Let's run it back fast. Apply for your provincial health card on day 1 so the clock starts as early as possible. Check whether your province has a waiting period because it ranges from 0 days to 3 months. And buy private newcomer insurance before you travel to avoid the 48-hour exclusion, so you never assume coverage starts the moment you land. If this saved you from a surprise medical bill, that is exactly why this channel exists. Next, I'm covering the newcomer bank account and credit building setup, the exact order to open accounts so you build a Canadian credit score from month 1. Subscribe so you don't miss it, because getting that sequence wrong can cost you for years.